Thunder Bay is on the shores of the Lake Superior, in around the uh, head of the Sleeping Giant there. And we got a beautiful view of the Sleeping Giant from the shore in town and across from around different places in the city. But anyway, I was on a mission there last week to find some straw for bedding, because the guy I was getting the straw from was running low and he wasn't sure if he was going to have enough for himself. So then he gave me a name of a couple of other farmers that had straw, and one is quite a ways away from me and another one was not too far away. And he was supposed to have lots, but when I called him, he didn't have much himself left. But I got a super deal on, not last summer's hay, but the summer before hay. You know, like, I mean, super duty cheap deal on hay. And it's still nice and green. You know, even when you pull it from inside here, it's still green inside there, see? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this thing. It was basically next to nothing. I'm going to use that for bedding, and they can pick through and eat what they want. I got 2 bales, and I went to my buddy's place, and he's got a little skidder there, and pulled out a couple of one black ash tree, because all winter I've been burning birch sawmill slabs from a local sawmill. But they charge $50 a bundle, and that bundle only lasts me in this flooded mobile home for 7 days. And I bought a phase cord of wood there for $140 Canadian the Friday before Christmas, and that same phase cord lasts me 7 days, same as that bundle of birch sawmill slabs. And the last 2 times I went there, they only had this tamarack, which burns extremely hot, and it too only lasts 7 days. So a couple of weeks ago I went and I got 3 tamarack trees from my buddy's place there, and that's lasted me almost 15 days. I just put the last 2 pieces in the stove this afternoon. And when I got that last batch, this is just one tree, this one here from this side of the trailer. I've split that pile up already that I had on the trailer, and there's some on here yet. And I borrowed this little 4,000 pound, or 4 ton, sorry, electric wood splitter from my father. It's been sitting in his garage for several years, and being since I broke my back, I can't lift that splitting maul over my head to split this stuff. So I have one over here in the snow I started building. I've actually built myself a few of them over the years, but I end up selling them before I too much longer, because I need money. And anyway, so I just got this black ash, but I just want you to have a look at this green. This is black ash. It's like, we only have 2 kinds of really good firewood here, black ash and birch, and they burn the hottest and burn the longest. But look at the grain in that. The reason why I'm going to show you this, I'm going to tell you something in a second here. Like, look at the beautiful color of the wood here. That's a hardwood. Look at the nice color of the grain. Now, I've talked about my ex-wife and stuff in the past, and I've gotten some flack about it and that, but you know, she cleaned me right out. The courts gave her everything, and right down to where she got a court order to sell this property on me, and I had to get a person to turn around and buy this property back for me, because she got a court order to sell it, and it was listed on the market for $95,000. And I knew she was going to sell it for next to nothing, as she did for the business inventory. I had put out $280,000 in inventory, and she got a court order to sell all the inventory for $11,000. So I knew she was going to try and sell this property for next to nothing. I went on the market the first time for 95,000, and it didn't sell. And the realtor guy said, "Well, why don't you get your lawyer to get somebody to low bid it, and then if you figure she's going to sell for nothing, she'll probably accept it, and then you can just buy it back." And I called my lawyer there, Mike Harris, at the time, and I asked him about it, and he says, "Oh, no, you can't. We can't do that. We can't do that." Well, she turned around and put it on the market a little while later, and sure enough, she got an anonymous offer for 21,000 or something like that. So I had this one person counter offer for me to save the property with about 26,000, I think it was, and save this property for me. And in the meantime, I was out of town at my sister's camp on the weekend. For 3 days I was gone. And she broke in here as before even the separation stuff was done, and she busted the water line off under the sink, which I have a video of, and a video camera up there on the pole up there too, and video cameras inside. She busted the water line off underneath it, and it basically flooded the whole mobile home. And that winter, the whole mobile home lifted up over 18 inches because it was right full of ice underneath. And come springtime, it sunk. The railway ties sunk in the ground, 2 railway ties deep. And then all the floors got soft, and I've been falling through the floors for the last 10 years. And I filed an insurance claim on my insurance. Because as my lawyer said, I was going to go to the police, and the police said, "No, just collect the insurance because you won't get anywhere." So the insurance company gave a check for $68,000, and she got a court order to have it put into trust in her lawyer's account. And I have no idea where it went. My lawyer has not called me back in 10 years from the day that I was supposed to go to the equalization trial. He hasn't returned any of my phone calls. Mike Harris hasn't returned any of my phone calls, none of my emails, nothing. So I think he was paid off because he was doing my thing for, what do you call it? He was doing my separation and my divorce for pro bono because he'd made so much money on my lawsuit from work when I broke my back. So long story short, the trailer's been really cold, and it was like 5 gallons of diesel fuel in the wintertime. Wouldn't even last me 24 hours. And it was costing me $5,000 a winter in fuel oil to heat the place, and it was still cold. Because my insurance company would never allow me to have a wood furnace. They made me take that chimney out even back then, and I threw it underneath the trailer because they wouldn't insure us unless I took that chimney out. So being I can't get it insured because they wrote the trailer off, last fall I put that wood stove in. I just put it on. I'm a welder by trade, and I got a few sauna stoves built with water tanks on them that I build and sell on the side. And I took one of them that I had last fall and I stuck it in the house there. And I've been burning nothing but wood, and I've had every frozen pipe possible and broken pipes all winter long. I've been fixing pipes, and it's been colder than heck in there all winter. When we've had it's not bad in there up to about 16, 17 below, but when we hit that 20, 25, 30, 35 below, I was freezing in there. I was wearing my parka day and night. It was warm from the waist up when you're sitting on the couch, but from the waist down it feels like the doors and windows were wide open because of the drafts coming in through the floors and the walls. The walls have separated from the floors. And this summer I hope to borrow a buddy's big skidder and skid this mobile home, this one here, down there. And then I want to put a small little cabin here, 27 by 30. And I got huge spruce on my property down there, everywhere. They start at about 22 inches to about 36 inches. And it's just a money problem. I would have built by now, but like I say, I lost everything, and I've had a GoFundMe page up to help rebuild my home for the last few years. I've had no response to it at all, nothing whatsoever. And that's also in my description of every video, that GoFundMe page. And I've had no response to that one at all. But I can't take it at my age, at 57 years old. I can't take another year, another winter like that, like I spent this winter. It's been, with my broken back and the arthritis I got, I've been so crippled up this winter from being cold. The arthritis has I've been on the floor in tears crying, and many days it's just everything I got to go down and feed the cattle. And I barely make it without, because I can hardly walk. My legs hurt so bad, my back hurts so bad, and headaches in my shoulders, and just, even though I live on 300 milligrams of morphine a day, plus Percocets and other medication, and I can take the whole summer and build this myself, because I can build it myself. I can't rely on anybody to help. I know that for a fact. My one brother-in-law might come and help me a little bit just to get the main frame up, but that's doubtful, but it's a possibility. But anyway, why I was showing you this black ash is, I don't care as long as I get the frame up and get it insulated and some wiring done before next fall. As long as I get the insulation and vapor barrier, I don't care about the floors being done. I don't care about the walls being sheeted, as long as the vapor barrier is up and it's closed in and it's sealed up airtight. Well, not airtight, but relatively airtight, because I don't need a building permit here. So I'm trying to see if I can borrow somebody's sawmill to saw up enough 2x6s and 2x10s and 2x12s for the floor joists, and I'm going to put 1/2-inch pecs in the floor, because I can't. There's no way for sure. I know I'm not going to be able to do concrete, and I'll strap all the floor joists with 3 loops of PEX pipe for in-floor heating, because I have that fairly new boiler in the other trailer there that heats the house. It was just replaced by NYT a couple of years ago, because the firebox split open, and they warrantied it. It was like 4 years old already, 5 years old I think, when the firebox split, and they replaced it just a couple of years ago under warranty. And so as long as I get it closed in and insulated and some of the wiring done, and I just throw up a kitchen counter with a sheet of plywood and some 2x4s, that's all I care. And like I say, I'll see if I can borrow somebody's sawmill. If not, I'll have to try and scrounge up about $800, because the local mill here gave me a price of $100 an hour to saw. I brought the logs there, and just get some sawn rough, because I don't need a building permit here. It's unorganized township. I don't need no building permits, so it doesn't have to be graded lumber and stamped. But to get back to this ash, my buddy's got so much of this black ash on his property, and it's huge. Like, look at the size of the blocks. They're like 20-inch diameter, 16 to 20-inch diameter and bigger. There's even some bigger stuff there, and it's all grain like this. And I'd like to get it sawn sometime for hardwood floor, 3/4. Get it sawn into 2-inch wide by 3/4 inch thick hardwood floor, like my grandfather used to install back when I was a kid. That was what he did for a living. He had his own business. And I know the sawmill priced me $100 an hour for sawing and $300 a thousand for planing and tongue and grooving, because it goes through the one machine and it planes it and tongue and grooves it. Because I don't like that engineered manufactured flooring. Is, what is it, 1/4 inch thick or something like that. And every place I've seen that's had it installed, anywhere where around the sink and that, it lifts, and it looks great for the first few years that it's down, and then it really shows problems later. And I like the look of just the bare wood, and then you put urethane on it, because my grandfather used to do the installs of floors, and he had the big floor sanders and everything, and he'd sand the floors down and urethane them. That's the look I always liked. You know, this is a hardwood, this black ash. It's really hard, and this would make great hardwood flooring. And I have access to all I want of this, and it would just be the sawing and the planing and tongue and grooving. But the planing and tongue and groove is done in one shot through the machine. And like I said, I put this 3-ton or 4-ton splitter that my dad got from Canadian Tire. It's handled every block I put through it, and I put some of my jack pine through it in the fall when I cut some of my jack pine out. My dead standing jack pine down in the bush down there, and knotty stuff. Every bit of it went through that splitter. But I was just hauling it out with the lawn tractor with a trailer behind. But I can get my buddy Skidder over here to pull the big spruce out for saw logs, and then I have a boom truck that I can load the logs on. I have a bigger trailer like this, but tandem axle, that I built before I built this trailer. So I built this trailer here, and I don't know, maybe 15, 16 years ago, but about 25, 28 years ago, I built one exactly like this, but 16'6" tandem axle, 7,000 pounds, and I can load the logs on that with my boom. It's actually a Ford F600. And it's got a gravel dump box on it, and I had picked up a hydro boom on an old Ford truck that was basically rotted right out, and I made a quick attach on the back of the truck the same way as a backhoe goes on a crawler loader, with the 2 hooks on it and the 2 top pins, and it just drops in. I can have it off the truck in like 5 minutes and back on in like 10-12 minutes, and it lifts 10,000 pounds on a straight up vertical lift. So I can load all the logs on my bigger trailer and take them down there and get them sawn, and then pick up the lumber when they're done. But I'd have to get it sawed early, as soon as the snow is gone, so that I would have, you know, most of the summer to dry, sticker it all and put it out to dry for the summer, and then start framing it, say like, you know, beginning of August. Because I can't take the cold, so I'd have to have it framed in before it got cold. You know, at least closed in, at least. Doesn't have to be necessarily be insulated, because wood stove will keep it warm enough once the walls are airtight and the floors are airtight. Not like this thing. It's like I say, the floors got holes in them, and I've taped plastic over the holes and laid scrap plywood over top. But the walls have all separated, and boy, you feel the draft. So anyway, I'm just working on splitting this stuff up, because I have none left, and I'm saving that jack pine there for starting the fire, because this stuff is just green right off the stump. Well, so is that jack pine, but that jack pine catches fire easy with the sap. Even the birch slabs are green right off this, you know, pretty much. But this has been burning really well, even though it's green right off the stump. And I have to get some bedding down to the cows today yet, and because they got very little good bedding to lay on down there right now. So I have to get that down there to them today, because with the warm weather there we had on Saturday, everything kind of went a little mushy. So anyway, that's the update on that. But no, I can't take another winter in this place. I have to get something up somehow this summer. And I want to say, like I say, I want to put a 27 by 30 on concrete pillars, 10-inch sauna tubes. I have some big I-beams down below, scrap I-beams that I salvaged years ago that I can put underneath it. I'll use 2 2x10s or 2x12 floor, and then hot water. Tex tubing strapped to the floor joists for heating, floor heating. And then I've got a couple of unit heaters that I can put in there for backup, but I'm sure there'll be enough heat coming through the wood floors that'll be more than sufficient for that. Be nice warm floors, nice warm house and stuff like that. But like I say, I've been freezing to death in here all winter and crippled up so bad from the cold that I can't take another winter. So anyway, guys, you know, if you want to help support everything I do here, you know, please use one of the links below, and I appreciate it very much. And please share the videos, you know, help me grow the channel, because I do a lot of stuff. You know, I'm a welder by trade. I still build all kinds of stuff. It takes me time to do it because I can only do it for so many hours a day, and I got to stop. And I still do welding projects. I still do mechanical projects. As soon as I find a way to either hold this phone better or get a better camera, for doing videos. I got tons of film camera because I used to do photography for weddings and stuff like that as a hobby when I first broke my back. But they don't do videos, and I bought one camera, but I bought a Pentax and quite some time ago, but the video quality is really grainy on it, so I don't use it. So anyway, yeah, if you can help out at all in any way, it'd be appreciated. And until next time, guys, take it easy. I just thought I'd give you a little update and show you this wood here, and about the bedding hay that I end up having to get. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care. Yeah, I'm working away here, and all of a sudden I turned around and I got two visitors up here tasting this bedding hay I got. Not last summer, the summers before. I guess they heard me out here and they wanted up here to see me, I guess, and then they spotted the hay. Even though they've got 3 bales down there, as you've seen in Saturday's video, they got 3 bales of hay down there. But no, they came up here, they heard me up here. I guess they're looking for some corn, and that's what they always do. They come looking for me when they hear me. They come looking for their corn. So I haven't given them corn today, and I didn't give them corn yesterday yet. I've been giving every 2 days a little bit of corn because it's been somewhat milder, and they don't need it, so they do good in the grass. They come walking up here, I'll guarantee you specifically they're looking for the corn, and I never feed them up here, but they do find the hay sitting here on the trailer once in a while before I get it down there. And I got 3 bales down there. Oh, here comes another one over there. Yeah, they're not fenced in the wintertime because they don't go anywhere. They stay right around the barns down there, and they go in the bush a little bit. They don't go anywhere, but the gate is open down there. They can go wherever they want. Because like I say, I got nobody around here to worry about. The only place they could go is the neighbor over there, or the neighbor over there, and they can go as far as they want that way, and there's nobody. And the next side road is like 3 kilometers that way. Yeah, I was thinking too, I didn't say, I probably said in past videos, but I bought this property. That's the big hydro transmission line back there, and then there's about 100 yards of bush, and then there's the Trans-Canada gas pipeline. I bought this property when I was 18 years old, and I paid cash for it back then when I was 18 years old. I was working at Canada Car at the time, working on the assembly line, building grain hopper cars for the CP Railroad. Not CP Railroad, sorry. They were pulled by CP Railroad, but they were for the Saskatchewan wheat pool elevators, and that was on several of the jigs and the rollover jig where the whole car was put together and it was rolled over on a rollover jig, and it was all wire wire feed welding inside when another guy come up. So we got 4 up here now. Yeah. So whenever they hear me up here, they always come out here. Especially if I haven't given them corn that day. And I didn't give them any yesterday because Saturday was so mild. I don't like to give them much. I don't like to give them much grain. I like to keep them basically on grass and hay, and just give them a little bit of corn so they know where home is. As I've said in my past videos, just give them a little bit, and like I say, I don't feed them up here, but a lot of times when the truck's parked up here and it's got hay on it, and they hear me out here, they'll come out here, and I've seen a few tracks up here other times when I've had hay up here that they come up during the night and attack the hay. But I don't know how this is going to work for bedding. They're going to probably eat more of it than I put down for bedding, but at least for what I paid for this, next to nothing. Doesn't matter if they waste it for laying on for bedding, because I can't get straw anywhere right now. If I went all the way to Nalulu, the other guy might have some straw, but it's a long ways to go. It's about a 3-hour round trip, and this guy here has got tons of this year before last hay, and it looks like they're enjoying it. So I just thought I'd fill you in on this part here while I was sitting here splitting wood and these guys come wandering up. Okay, if something else comes up while I'm out here, I'll give you another shout.